So, whilst working on my next theory video for The Last of Us Part 2, Kotaku's Jason Schreier came out with an article suggesting that the game would be pushed back a few months. Naturally, even though Schreier is usually a very reliable source when it comes to leaks and rumors, I brushed it off since it wasn't officially confirmed. But just a few hours later, Naughty Dog came out with an official statement on the PlayStation blog, written by none other than Neil Druckmann himself. Hey stragglers and tourists, my name is TheiPadCat, and in today's video, I'll be going over this somewhat disappointing piece of news, as well as my thoughts on it. So without further ado,
let's get on with it.
While it is a bit lengthy, I'll start by reading the full blog post here, because I think everything in it is important for context. You can skip forward to the timestamp on screen if you're only interested in my thoughts on the delay. Quote, "To our fans. Let me cut to the chase and get the news out of the way. The Last of Us Part 2 has a new release date of May 29th, 2020. I know. It was just about a month ago when we had our big blowout for the game, letting media play over 2 hours of it along with debuting our new story trailer and revealing the release date. The positive response we saw from our community was overwhelming. You can feel the energy among the team members. After working on something for so many years, it's invigorating to get a glimpse of validation for the hard work. However, it was during the last few weeks, as we were closing out sections of the game, that we realized we simply didn't have enough time to bring the entire game up to a level of polish we would call Naughty Dog quality. At this point, we were faced with two options: compromise parts of the game or get more time. We went with the latter, and this new release date allows us to finish everything to our level of satisfaction, while also reducing stress on the team. While we're relieved that we won't have to compromise our vision, we're disappointed that we weren't able to avoid this exact situation. We wish we could have foreseen the amount of polish we needed, but the size and scope of this game got the better of us. We hate disappointing our fans, and for that we're sorry. We hope that you understand that this additional time ensures that The Last of Us Part 2 lives up to our collective ambition, as well as our commitment to the highest level of quality. We know that the extra few months will add to what may already be an excruciating wait for all of us. We are grateful for your patience and continued support. Come next May, you will finally rejoin Ellie in The Last of Us Part 2. Neil." End quote. Now, on the one hand, this has me disappointed. I mean, come on, we've waited almost 3 years for this game by now. Over 6 if we count since Part 1 launched. So it's hard for a delay like this not to feel like a slap in the face. All of that excitement, finally seeing some life signs after 15.5 months of absolute silence, with that wonderful cherry on top being that we wouldn't have to wait all that much longer for it, only to have it all pulled away just a month later. While I usually give Naughty Dog a ton of credit for being very careful with what they say and reveal, I have to call them out here. After all this time, being silent about release dates, even release windows, with the sole purpose of avoiding disappointing delays like the ones that plagued Uncharted 4 several times.
Do we have any idea when we would maybe see Last of Us Part 2 in our PlayStations?
We have an idea, but we've learned now several times not to say that publicly until we're confident with that idea, so we're going to hold off on saying when it comes out for a while.
How in the world did they not have the foresight to realize that they needed more time a month ago? Of course, some unexpected, catastrophic, game-breaking bug or problem could have come up. Things happen, that's just the way it is. But as Neil worded it here, it's about general polish and not a single big thing that just came out of nowhere. How was this not obvious a month ago? Of course, I'm not a game developer and I'm not gonna act like I know these things better than some of the best people in the business. But I still find it weird how a studio with such attention to the tiniest of details didn't realize this before they broadcasted the most requested and long-awaited announcement for their upcoming game to the world. Of course, they may not have had as much say in the reveal of the release date as we think. Maybe it was the suits over at Sony who made the call. We don't know. On the other hand, this actually makes me glad. Yes, we waited 3 years, and yes, we endured absolute radio silence for 15 months, only for Naughty Dog to do exactly what they've been saying that they'd avoid since PSX 2016. But in the grand scheme of things, what is 3 more months in comparison to 3 years? Nothing. And if that's not enough for you, think about this. Would you rather have the game in your hands on February 21st, playing it for the first time after those 6.5 years since part 1, only to find large portions of it feeling unfinished, broken, or glitchy? For AI bugs to break immersion, or for broken collision on objects and environments make you lose progress by making you fall through the world and die, etc, etc. Or would you rather wait a few more measly months to play it and have it being absolutely perfect without any technical issues plaguing your experience? I can't speak for anyone else but myself, of course, but I only have one shot at going in dark into this game. After playing it once, it'll instantly lose that first time through magic. Of course, it'll still be an amazing game that I'll play countless times, but that first time is so incredibly important. I don't want anything to ruin it. Believe it or not, I never got to play part 1 for the first time on my own, as I was stupid enough to watch a playthrough of it on YouTube first. And I'll be damned if I can't get that perfect experience on my own this time around. And if that means I need to wait 3 more months, then so be it. Furthermore, just look at the state of the rest of the gaming industry today, and how so many companies go with the launch and get money first, then fix it mindset. Or how bad the working conditions are at some studios. Neil specifically mentioned how this reduces stress for the team. Do we really want the people who create the games that we all love to push themselves over their limits and get sick from stress and potentially even having to quit? I sure don't. This delay only proves yet again that Sony and Naughty Dog are special. And while on the surface it's of course disappointing, I think we should appreciate it. The only thing that slightly confuses me about this is how they placed it after Cyberpunk 2077 and other spring titles. Or I mean, of course, they need that much time to finish it properly. But if I were Sony, I'd not want my flagship title go head to head with another huge one like that. So if I were them, I would probably have pushed it even further into the future as to avoid that direct competition. But that's just what I think. What do you think? Do you agree with my points? Disagree? What do you think about this delay? Tell me in the comments down below and let's talk about it. And after that, why not continue the discussion in my Discord server? And until next time, have a great day.